What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another review. Today we have the Punisher War Journal 2-pack with Punisher and Bushwacker. And I've been super excited to review this guy. I have been having difficulties finding him, but I found him for about 80 shipped on CMD store, something like that. I think it's like a real life store that had him. It was like more like 70 or 60, but with shipping, that $12 shipping kind of, came out to that much. But let's get straight into the review. Here's a look at the box and let's get them opened up. Super excited, super excited. I did make a review on the KO Punisher for that Mezco, but the problem is that Mezco has a lot of problems with the hands. So definitely not going to be my main Punisher. This is going to be my main Punisher until Amafex makes one. But here we go. This is going to be my definitive Punisher right here. And here is a look at everything they come with, but let's get a closer look at the figures now. So I'm going to be splitting this review into two segments, one being the Punisher review and one being the Bushwacker review. So let's get started with the Punisher part of this review. So Punisher, let's get a closer look at him. Looking really good, looking awesome. Really liking that head sculpt. Really liking the body they did for him. I like this like all black Punisher. There's no gap in between the thigh and the diaper piece that I was complaining about with the cable. He looks really good. A lot of muscle sculpting around the body. Get a closer look at that head sculpt. Closer look at the logo. The bullets here. The vest that he's wearing. The holster. And the boots. Right. So he is double jointed, but doesn't really go all the way up. At least not on this side. Let's try the other side. So he's double jointed, but goes above 90, right? Just not all the way like the cable does. Does have a bicep swivel. Goes basically T-pose. Oh no, he goes above the T-pose. Just a little stiff on one side. His ab crunch, not great. It's decent, right? Going back, pretty good. Yeah, that's his range right there. It's interesting that they made this piece flexible to bend with the ab crunch. I wonder how that's going to hold up over time. His head goes down this much. Goes up quite a bit. Does not swivel side to side. So I'm going to have, some awkward looking positions with him. That sucks. I really wish you could swivel these side to side. You can a little bit like what I'm doing right now, but that's not much at all. Yeah. Side to side, very hindered. Has some movement, but basically almost nothing. He does have a thigh swivel. Double jointed. Goes a decent amount. Just be careful with popping off this boot cut here. But he has a boot cut. So that's nice for articulation. So we have a thigh, double jointed knee, and a boot cut here. We have, the standard range here on the ankle. Pretty good. Pretty solid release. Really good looking Punisher for the most part. Have no complaints with the Punisher. Comes with these open hands and holding hands. Oh no, that's a gun shooting hand. But that's your complete Punisher right there. So let's move on to the accessories for the Punisher. An assault rifle, which looks really nice actually. Magazine doesn't come out, but really good looking rifle here with the scope and everything. It bends. It's quite a soft plastic, so I'd be careful. But I really like what they did with this weathering here on the magazine. Really interesting because they went with a light brown beige stock, a weathered magazine, and then just a normal black rifle for the rest. Not sure if that's how it is in the comics, but very interesting the way that they color coordinated that. Then he comes with this SMG right here, just plain black. At first I thought there was weathering, but no, it's pretty much plain black. Yeah, no magazine coming out there. Another SMG, just straight black. And a pistol with a brown handle, which I like. I think it's pretty cool, actually. Seeing how the rest of the accessories are black, making the handle burgundy color look really nice there. So additional hands that he comes with outside of the ones that I showed you is this like salute, also like pointing looking hand that you can use for either or. He comes with a closed fist, so he does come with two closed fists, unlike that cable that I was telling you about that doesn't come with both. So here we go with another closed fist, so that's really good right there. And another gun holding hand, so two gun holding hands, two closed fists, and the salute pointing finger, and the open hand that he has on his body already, which is this one. Pretty solid in terms of variety for hands. He comes with a grenade, and the last accessory being a yelling, screaming head sculpt, which I think is detailed and sculpted very nicely, having the tongue and the teeth, the angry expression. I think it looks great. The hair looks nice. All around solid face sculpt for him, or head sculpt I should say. But now let's move on to the Bushwacker. Here's a closer look at Bushwacker. We have a beautifully detailed head sculpt with the burns. We have the hair coming down the top here. I mean, pretty basic looking legs. Looks like they reused the legs for Wolverine, I think, on one of the figures, or one of those figures that has jeans. I can't remember. I remember this belt and this like blue. Got the shoes. This like blaster piece for his hand. Got the veins and the muscles. Kind of lightly sculpted. But this head sculpt is really nice, even though I have no idea who this is. So articulation, his head is going to go down that much. Go up quite a bit, actually. Kind of restricted by the collar piece, but not very much. No side to side, but you do get left and right. I'm actually very surprised and very, just surprised at the way that they sculpted this hair piece to come down here. And it doesn't seem to be flimsy at all. It seems to be in place, yeah. So for the T-pose, he's a little tight. So he's going for more of that, I can't really even. He's most likely going to be hitting a T-pose, if anything. But his arms are very stiff. It looks like he's going to hit a T-pose, nothing more than that. So I won't force it. Probably should heat him up in warm water. It does have a bicep swivel. It is double jointed, kind of around the same range as the Punisher. I was expecting a little bit more, but it's okay. Now there's like a gap in between the bicep swivel, but that's okay. Ab crunch is decent. I guess kind of the same ab crunch as the Punisher. They basically have the same range, to be honest. I think this one might have a little bit more, actually, because it's not restricted by the Punisher piece and the belt. I wonder if this swivels. Yeah, this piece swivels also separately. No side to side, of course, because of the way that the torso is made. Legs go out this much. Is double jointed. Oh, no, he's single jointed. I don't know, but he only goes about 90 degrees, so that's a bummer, especially when you're paying for a 2-pack. Does have a thigh swivel. And that's pretty much what you got here. I mean, his ankles are slightly restricted by the pant piece, but not really. Well, there it is, not being able to go up that far, but kind of restricted by the jean pants. But there's your Bushwacker for you. Now for the Bushwacker accessories again, I would consider this more of a neutral accessory for both of them that you can use. But Bushwacker comes with barely anything, to be honest. It comes with this additional shooting finger. And then he comes with the holding hand. That's literally it. So I'm honestly happy that Bushwacker doesn't come with much, and they gave most of Punisher's accessories, because nobody really cares about Bushwacker. And if you do, I'm sorry, but I prefer the way that it is. Most of the accessories being allocated to Punisher, giving Bushwacker the bare minimum. Happy about that. It would have been cool if they would have given us projectiles to put into his hands. I don't really know what he does and what he shoots out, but it came out. But it would have been cool to have something to put into his finger and into his cannon, whatever this is, human cannon. Yeah, but again, pretty solid 2-pack. Just kind of having Bushwacker, and if you don't care about Bushwacker, then oh wow, I guess you're in the same boat as me. Let's get into a size comparison. So let's start off this part of the size comparison with Punisher. Here's Punisher next to Bushwacker. Both Marvel Legends side by side. Let me give him some more center space. Now you can see them back to back. So Bushwacker being a little bit taller. Now let's take out Bushwacker and put the Mephix 185 Spider-Man back to back with the Punisher. Wow. Wow. I'm just like now starting to realize how small Marvel Legends are. I mean, not Marvel Legends, Mephixes are. But here, honestly, I'm not mad at it. I think it can work. For the most part, it can work. But the one that I'm very interested in seeing is Daredevil. Daredevil scaling a little bit smaller than Punisher, but honestly, not that bad. Not that bad at all. So let's have the three of them here lined up together. Oh, they're holding hands. This is your street tier lineup right here, saving New York City. One bad guy at a time, right? So, 185, Mephix Daredevil, Punisher in the middle. Back to back with Daredevil and Punisher. They scale a lot better than the 185 does. So if you're going to treat this 185 as like a younger Peter Parker, could work. I think they all scale decently together. But let's get on to the Bushwacker size comparison. Let's do Bushwacker. 185. And Daredevil. Still really big figure. But again, not mad at this size comparison. Their heights are not that different. Maybe between the Bushwacker and the 185, of course, there is a pretty big height difference there. Oh! But I think it's okay if you're using this 185 as a younger Spider-Man. So now let's get into the final thoughts of both figures. Question of the day is, do I recommend this 2-pack? And I absolutely do. I wasn't really a big fan of Bushwacker. I still am not, especially with the articulation being pretty stiff in the arm. Maybe that's because I got to warm him up, or maybe because that's the limit of the joint going as far as it can. But also, I'm starting to not like the head movements of the Marvel Legends as much as I do with the imports that I have. I noticed that I can't really swivel the head side to side a lot with most of them when they're on that one ball peg or whatever it's called, that ball joint. So yeah, I really do not like that. I cannot swivel their heads at all. They're just stuck in that place. So with that as a critique for both the Punisher and the Bushwacker, really limiting the head movement is so frustrating to me because they're absolutely amazing figures, at least on the Punisher side, of course. But both of them overall give you what you would be looking for most likely. I don't know any diehard Bushwacker fans that said, man, I wish the Bushwacker came with more. No, I appreciate that most of the 2-pack is dedicated to Punisher and small accessories for Bushwacker here and there. But then again, this could have been a single release. But then if it's a single release, Marvel Legends is going to be stingy and only give us 2 guns. So I'm not going to complain. I'm going to say this is a pretty good 2-pack actually. And I appreciate the love put in for a Punisher. Great articulation, great body. Was very surprised that it was kind of limited on the double joint, only going past 90 degrees slightly. But still, I think this is a great 2-pack. I think these are both pretty good figures in their own respect. Punisher being pretty amazing, honestly, and Bushwacker being just okay, kind of below average, but I do recommend it. This 2-pack is a solid 8 out of 10. Maybe if Bushwacker wasn't in it and it was a Punisher maximum series where he's maybe 40, 50, then maybe 9 out of 10. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say here. They are Marvel Legends, and I'm starting to get into my Marvel Legends reviews. So coming in with the import perspective, it's hard to be as objective as possible. But for $50, I think you do get a decent amount of stuff. Just Bushwacker being more of an accessory than an actual figure at this point. But I'm not complaining. I do need more street tier villains in my shelf and for my videos, so Bushwacker is just gonna have to stick around. I hope you guys got something out of this review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.